People ask me that question. I was like, how did you know? I just knew. I just didn't want to be here. It was just darkness. And I was taking medication to wake up in the morning, to function during the day, and to go to sleep at night. I had to have it because I couldn't function. It was just too deep, too dark. And I went through that for a few years. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And that's when I decided, I was like, hey, I just let it in. I can't go through this. But where the gratefulness came in is because, one, I recognized something wasn't right. I got the much needed help that I needed or that had to happen. Mm-hmm. And just really getting to a place where, okay, this can't be the way it is for the rest of my life. This is not, there's a such thing as a new normal, but I couldn't let the deep depression be the new normal. So just walking through that process of, okay, how am I going to do this? Because I don't want to die. I don't want my children to find my lifeless body, and I don't want that to be my story. So my prayer was, Lord, don't let me live like this. I can't continue this way. And at that, I'm negotiating, right? Folks say higher power, whoever you're negotiating with, I was negotiating with God. And I'm like, please don't leave me here like this. I've been through too much. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm not even leaving my home, mind you. 6 months, I'm in the house. I don't go outside unless I have to pick my son up from school. I just didn't want to be here. And I look for her at times because where does she go? And I figured out what was my turning point. It was that day when I said, okay, what's going to be different? I got to make some decisions. What is that going to look like? And that turning point was, okay, can I help somebody else get through this? So I took the focus off of woe is me. And I'm not criticizing anybody. I took the point. It was on me the whole time. That pity party that I had, the woe is me. And I said, okay, I don't want my worst enemy to go through this. So what can I do to help her or him? And I start focusing on them. And I begin to feel this shift and this change. It was like dead skin falling off my body, literally. And it began to change because I was focusing on other people and I didn't want them to go through it. And slowly but surely, I began to come out of that. I wasn't taking medication anymore. And the doctor's like, no, you got to take it. No, I'm not. I cannot live like this. I don't want that to be the Band-Aid. Let's snatch the Band-Aid off. Let's deal with this head on. But while I was dealing with it, I was helping other people. And I didn't know that was going to help me more than anything.
It's the greatest thing I've heard because when I got sober, that's my story, so I was in a deep, dark hole.
Yeah.
12-step recovery, it's a we program, not a me program.
Yeah.
And I don't need to go to any more therapy.
Yeah.
Me, and what he did to me, and what she did to me. I needed to reach out my hand and help someone else.
Yes.
No one had ever told me that before.
Wow.
But I had a sponsor to tell me that. Did you just figure that out by yourself?
Really? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, maybe?
Yeah. It was absolutely. It was just, okay, what am I going to do? I'm having a conversation. If somebody was watching me like, she's lost her mind. No, I just found myself. I made a deal. If you would just allow me to come out of this, I will serve you with every part of my being. I'm not going to be the super woo-woo religious person, but I will be spiritual and I will share where I came from. That's why I'm very transparent, very open to my story because I know it helps someone else because there's too many people who think for yourself. How many people have said, thank you so much for sharing. It gives them permission that they don't have to be perfect, that it doesn't always have to be like the world wants everybody to be perfect. I'm nowhere near and nor do I want to be. But what I know I can do is help someone else transition from where they are to where they want to be. And so just finding her, when I met her, I'm like, I'm so glad you're here. Girl, where have you been? We got some things to do. And so now I just take I take every opportunity to share with someone, not just my story, but what did I learn from that, right? What did I learn from all of what I've been through? That's why I say take your life experiences and your knowledge to help someone else. To build a business, no, most people don't even think about it that way. But that's the reason why I've been able to build a $28 million company in 3 years. And I say that not to brag or boast, but to let somebody know that you don't have to stay there. You can build whatever you want and nobody gave it to you, so nor can someone take it away. But it's just really looking at where you are and figuring out where you want to be and go on that journey.
Well, I love this part. This is the home stretch, which is my favorite part, which is like the pivot point, and then things get great. So let's talk about it. So $28 million in 3 years. That's insane. Yeah. And what most people are probably thinking, once again, is, well, you don't know my background. You don't know where I came from. Well, I heard where you came from. Yeah. And nevertheless, she persisted.
Yeah.
So what happened after that? So you get yourself out and you're on the other side and you're like, damn it, we're going to build a business and I'm going to teach others. Tell me about it.
It wasn't even thinking about a business. I just wanted to coach people people to their next level. And most folks are like, I don't want to be known as a coach. Okay, call it what you want. I became a mentor for others. And guess where I started? I became a divorce coach. I started in the place that I believe I was hurt the most. And I didn't want any other woman or even a man to go through that hurtful place because I hadn't been there. And you talk to people and they've been married 50 years. This is what you do. You have no idea what to do because you've never experienced it. And so I went on that journey of just, how do I do this? I got mentor after mentor. And the more I grew, the bigger the mentor or the training got, right? I invested more. I fell in love with investing in myself because I knew I was onto something. I didn't have to go to corporate America. There's nobody going to pay you $28 million in a year. And some folks don't believe it. And I was like, I can show you exactly what I did. I just took my life experiences and my knowledge to build a business. I became a speaker, speaking all over the world on these large platforms, helping other people, not just motivate them, but help them take action in their life. Then I wrote a couple of books, and I just finished a book, From the Battlefield to the Boardroom. And it's not just my military experience. It's what is your battlefield? My battlefield was my young adulthood, being a mom, being raped and all of that. But my boardroom is where I made the decision where success is going to be for me. My success is not like everybody else's. And I don't define success like everyone else. So when you go from your battlefield to your boardroom, it just changes the game. A matter of fact, it didn't only just change the game. It changed my entire life and my livelihood, not just for me, but for my children's children's children.
And I know that's really important to you, activism and education, and really helping to inspire American minorities to bridge the wealth gap. Yeah. So for somebody who hears that and they're like, oh, just follow my passion and make $28 million, but they're living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe not even. They're not even making that last. Yeah. What would be the first suggestion? Is it to get a mentor? Is it to find their passion? How would they turn their light on?
I would say get someone who's been somewhere doing something. Because if you're sitting there listening to the voices in your head and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, as we call it, and you have more month than you have money, and someone comes and says, oh, you need to invest in yourself. You got to get in the rooms with people that are having 8-figure roundtable conversations. When I got in rooms when people were talking about different things, the roundtable at my house, my mom said, don't get pregnant and leave these boys alone. And I did both of them, right? Now at the time, I'm at tables with people who are talking about business. What? Only business I thought you could have. You can go sell hair per se or lashes, and nothing wrong with that. Or go have a brick and mortar. You sell insurance. But when you could take what you already know and what you've been through and come out on the other side, not perfect, but in a place, in a space where you can teach someone else to do a thing. And they get to start not from ground zero from where you did, but they get to start on your shoulders. That right there was just different for me. I started getting on the shoulders of people that were doing a thing and being in the room with them. And it just changed the game. So if someone right now that is listening and they're trying to figure out, how do I do this? And it's not that you need all this money up front, but there has to be some skin in the game. And a lot of the times people won't make the sacrifice, one, to shift their mindset of what they think about money, because that was my problem. Oh my gosh, all these rich people, all they want is money. That's all they want. No. They're trying to get money to me, not from me. And I have this thing that I say, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, let a wealthy family come from you. I came from absolutely nothing, but I vow that my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren will not come from anything if I have anything to do with it. I owe that to them.
And I heard you say that the one reason that most people don't make $1 million start a business, is
excuses.
There you go. Excuses.
We all got them. Especially when I talk to women, I say, what's the biggest thing why women are not building their businesses and all of that? And everybody shares. I said, excuses. We have more excuses than we have shoes. And I got some shoes. I'm sure you probably got some shoes too.
I got some shoes.
We have some shoes. And they all laugh. I said, but it's real. No more excuses. Where we came from, there's no excuses. Well, I came from this. You don't know my story, as you said. You don't know what I've been through. It doesn't matter where you've been through. What counts is where you're going to go from here. You have to make a decision. What's next for you? And it cannot be where you are right now. At least I hope it's not.
But how do you suggest that somebody gets past limiting beliefs? Like, did that ever come in, imposter syndrome, where you're like, oh, I don't belong at these 8-figure?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I did. But I started making having these thoughts and, again, decisions. It's not even, some people don't make decisions. That's a hard thing. Yeah, being in the room like, oh my gosh, I don't deserve to be here. And I started thinking, wait. Yes, I do. So it wasn't that someone else had to be in my ear and tell me a thing. I always say the voice that speaks the loudest wins. What voice you going to listen to? Is that little me voice and you're not good enough. You need to go back to school. You're not educated enough. Or is it going to be the voice of, I know I haven't done those things, but I do have this experience. Let me bring that to the table. And so my vocabulary has changed. The negativity has changed. And I was negative at the beginning. Like, I can't do this. That's stupid. Who's going to do that? $1 million. Money's not. I even said the thing, money's not everything. What? Yes, it is. And I don't mean in a bad way. There's some things we want to do for our family. There's some charities we want to donate to. There's some things, and money, let's be real, it does make the world go round. It's not just for shopping, nice shoes and clothes and jewelry. It's not for that. It's by being and helping others. Now, this is going to offend some people that are listening. Can I say it anyway?
Please.
I heard someone say, the best thing that you could do for poor people, poor-minded people and people financially is not become one of them. That right there, I was like, okay, I don't know what that means exactly, but I know I can't be one of them. So what can I do? And it wasn't about the money to go shop till I drop. It was more of who can I help? What church is in trouble right now during the pandemic that I can write a check out to? Who's about to lose their business and I can just donate or write a check out to them so they can keep the doors open until this a crazy pandemic passes? What can I do? That in itself just changes. So it wasn't just for my family, it was for other people that I could help and serve along the way. And all I did was figure out how to speak on stages. All I did was figure out how to take my thoughts and put it in a book on paper. All I did was create a community and an organization where I can bring people into a room virtually or live and in person and teach them what I know over the last 7, 10 years, military career, 21 years. I don't know everything, Jamie. I don't. But I know how to help people get paid and change their financial trajectory.